It's time for Off the Air Live. And here's your host, Cody O'Connor.
Hey, thank you. This is Off the Air Live with Cody O'Connor.
And Melinda.
Stop! Why'd you do that?
We hear us every Thursday and Saturday night at 10 p.m. on LRN.FM. If you want to call tonight, it's 774-314-7067, or you can Skype it Off the Air Live. Luckily, we're all going to die soon because, either we're all going to die from alcohol poisoning or, nuclear weapons, which is a surefire. You see how I said that? Thing that's going to happen. So I don't know if you heard this news, and it's not really news because if it was actual news then I would really care, but I only talk about it because normal people do care. North Korea did test fire some missiles recently, and obviously, as you can imagine, the US had a response. You can never have anybody testing a missile and then go to the US and be like, hey, do you have a response? And they'd be like, no, I'm cool with this, man. Nah, yeah, that seems fine. No, they're always going to have a response. So our response from this news article, in response to the North Korea and Iran thing, the U.S. is going to beef up missile defensive. The U.S. is going to deploy 14 additional ground-based interceptors, which are GBIs, to combat this so-called nuclear threat from North Korea and Iran, according to Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel. During a press briefing, he goes, "The United States stands firm against aggression." All right, Chuck, settle down. And first of all, I'd love to know, if you want to call in, what exactly constitutes aggression? Because this is how, you want to talk about test firing missiles. Let's bring that into a real world situation. That's like me messaging someone on Facebook and going like, I don't like you, I'm working on my muscles.
LOL.
It's not me saying, hey man, you're going to get creamed, better look out. It's saying, hey, I'm working on my core. Is that what they call it? Their abs. I'm working on my neck muscles so I can, maybe North Korea just wants to look better. They want to have a better positive self-image, or maybe they want to help their own defense. Believe it or not, other countries do like to defend themselves. So Hagel continues, citing North Korea's recent test of a rogue mobile interconnectable ballistic missile. God, you're going to make me feel ballistic, buddy. As a reason to beef up the U.S. missile defense system. The American people expect us to protect them in a cost-effective manner. Okay, so let's go over this word cost-effective, because I find that to be very, very wrong. The standard of one of these GBIs is $70 million each, but for some reason the actual cost is $90 million, and the acquisition cost, all inclusive with development and everything else, goes up to $400 million. Sounds to me like somebody's getting ripped off by some kind of production guy, and it doesn't matter because we end up paying for it. So you got $400 million, right? Buying 14 of these. So luckily
no big D.
Yeah, no big D. Luckily for all of you, I have a calculator app, so I found out that, 400 million times 15, $556 million. And is this cost effective? Apparently it is, according to Chuck Hagel. But, I guess it's a drop in the bucket compared to the complete military budget of 2012, which was $1.4 trillion. And that all was probably all totally necessary expenditure. Everybody always freaks out, especially during sequestration. And they're like, yeah, but they're going to shut down my shipyard. All right, don't get a job at a shipyard making ships that kill people.
That was totally a House of Cards reference, and you know it.
It's also a thing that is people
I
are
know, but
that
you
is
totally had House of Cards.
okay, but House of Cards is referencing what real stupid people say because they get a job doing something dumb.
I know, I'm just
and
saying.
then I'm supposed to feel bad. You know, I got mad about this too. There was a Walking Dead commercial last week during the show. I don't know if you saw this.
If you didn't, you're dumb.
Which, yeah, I don't know why, but it was like, the ocean, a whole bunch of trade happens here. This is an important thing. And then it shows there's just this clip of this huge aircraft carrier just going over the ocean, and it's like, the Navy, we make sure nothing bad happens. And it's like, okay, you want to talk about excess, you know, it's almost one thing when you talk about one aircraft carrier, which is already billions of dollars, because it's not just a boat. It's a boat covered in planes that are also covered in bombs. So you would think, yeah, maybe the money's going to rack up after a while, but they have a whole bunch of these things, and I'm thinking it might just be a little bit much. That's like saying I need to have 15 penises just in case I might have that many people I need to have sex with all at once. It probably won't happen, but it's a good sure way to make sure that we'll never be in trouble. And I find it very interesting just how scared regular people are, and they trust the U.S. government to keep us safe while they just steal more and more of your money, and it's just an excuse to do that. So I'm thinking, you know, being afraid because North Korea is test firing missiles, to me, that's a lot like having sex and then running out, coming in the backyard, and then being concerned about pregnancy. Being afraid because North Korea is test firing missiles is a lot like worrying an Icelandic toddler wants to punch you, but then he doesn't. Being afraid because North Korea is test firing missiles is a lot like cringing while you say Gandhi's name in the mirror 3 times. Because it's not going to happen. So
Gandhi's not going to show up if I keep saying
and even
his
if he
name?
did, he's not going to do anything. He's fucking Gandhi. So the answer to that, yes, being afraid because North Korea is test firing missiles, answer to that is pathetic. And then again, being afraid because Iran might have nukes in a year is a lot like leaving your small town in Vermont because you might be getting a Starbucks. Being afraid because Iran might have nukes in a year is a lot like being afraid and wondering if another season of The Wire will come out because you heard rumors. Being afraid because Iran might have nukes in a year is a lot like stocking up on canned beans because Jesus might come back.
But why would you need beans if Jesus came back?
Because, you know, all the end of the world stuff. If Jesus is coming back, he's bringing zombies.